Hello there, welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash and I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. Now this is another of my back to basics videos where I remind gentlemen of some of the skills that we should have or maybe had and have lost on our passage through this world. And today I am talking about making more friends because, as you know, there are many times in our life's journey where we may feel the pangs of isolation and loneliness. You can feel as if you're alone and you don't have that social network of friends that you were fortunate to be surrounded by when you were a much younger person. Now there can be many reasons for that. It can be that you've moved home several times. Maybe you've changed professions or jobs. I was in the military for the first 10 years of my working life, and during that period I moved home every couple of years, often spending years in other countries. So that network of friends which I'd built up with in my younger years slowly dwindled away. Or your life circumstances may have necessitated you spending less time with your friends, so you've lost them as time has passed. Attrition takes place because you've been focused on your career. You've been, getting your nose to the grindstone and working your way up the ladder to build a better life. You might have been preoccupied with your family. Maybe you've had several young children and it's meant that you haven't kept up friendships as the years have passed. Or maybe there's been a dramatic change in your life. Maybe that you've lost a relationship, your marriage has ended and you've moved somewhere, which means that you're starting all over again. Or the joint friends that you used to have in your former relationship have now gone away. So you find yourself, as I say, feeling those sensations of loneliness, isolation, maybe a lack of just buddies. I know that myself. Because of my life journey, the military, the jobs I've taken, I've moved repeatedly all of the time throughout my life. I got married and I married somebody who didn't live in my own country. I was living in Wales, my wife was from England. I decided to move to be with my wife. So I absolutely started with a clean sheet. And sometimes when you just want a buddy to go down the pub with and have a chat and they're not there for you, the world can seem quite a lonely place. So today I'm going to give you my 5 tips that I believe will help you build a better network of friends and improve your social health. Now the first tip I have for you is that you need to become the prime mover in any network of friends that you have. Because when you look at people, you have them in your life, you see these people who you work with or whatever, and they seem to have an enormous circle of friends around them. They've always got something going on with friends and buddies, going away on holidays, going to the pub, having parties. And if you drill down into those individuals, you will normally find that they are the people who are making these things happen. They are putting in the hard work to maintain these friendships. Because you'll find that they're the ones who are organizing the parties, the meetings, the gatherings, the trips away to go fishing for a weekend with a circle of friends. They are the ones who create these groups or WhatsApp groups that you have, and they are the ones who say, anybody coming to the pub on Friday night? Anybody want to go bowling next week? Does anybody want to come to the cinema with me on Tuesday? They are the people who are putting the work in. That's how they've gathered this social network. They are the ones who always comment on social media. They are the ones who curate the Facebook forums for a gathering of friends from the local pub or whatever. In short, those sort of people with large groups of friends, they are the glue to those friendships because they put the work in. Now, if you want to replicate that to a larger or smaller degree, the thing to do is you need to become the prime mover. You need to be the one who, sends out the emails, the texts, arrange the meetings, has people over to your house to watch a soccer match or to watch something else at your home. And that's how friendships and relationships are built basically, it's by putting the work in. Now, my second tip for you is to think in your life, where do friendships begin for you? Now, if you look back over the course of your life, at a time when you were surrounded by friends, where you had buddies and associates around you, I think you will find that it's probably when you were a child, when you had the most friends. And the reason why you had the most friends when you were a child is because you were at school with them and you were all doing the same thing. You were learning in the same place. And if you play that forward into other parts of your life, maybe, like me, the time where I had the most number of friends is when I was in the military, because I was working alongside people, living alongside people. I was doing the same thing, striving towards a common purpose with these people who shared my life, and our bond of friendship built during that part of my life. So the thing to do is, if that was the same for you, if the periods of your life you will find that you made the most friends was where you were sharing something with them, a common space, a common activity, a common character trait. That is how you would like to probably replicate the building of more friends into your current life. Now, this is not that easy actually, because some of us, when we get into the habit of being a little bit lonely, a little bit isolated, it goes against our natural character traits to go out and make friends. It becomes something of a hard task to undertake. However, right, the onus is on us to put ourselves into situations where we are likely to be in that position again. So in a common place with people who share our character traits, who are striving towards a common purpose. And it's not that difficult when you put a clinical mindset to it, because you think to yourself, look at your community, look what goes on in your community. How can you integrate yourself into a world where those situations converge? It could be you join a CrossFit group in your gym. You might join the Freemasons in your area. You might join a Rotary Club, a sports group. There are any number of groups where there are people sharing common purposes, where you are likely to build friendships and relationships through that integration with that group. But as I say, the onus is on us. Sometimes we have to climb over that character trait which says, I don't want to, I'm a little shy, I can't be bothered. If that's the case, we wouldn't be feeling lonely. We have to step forward, enter those groups, and put ourselves in a position to make friends and relationships with others. Now, my next tip is a bit more of a practical one, because I'm going to ask you to think about working on your communication skills. Because to make friends, associates, buddies, we first have to speak to them. And in many cases, if you're a shy and retiring type particularly, the thought of going out and having to force yourself into conversations with strangers can be a very daunting one. But if the destination that we're seeking to arrive at in our life is making more friends, it's a bridge that we have to cross. And I do have some tips for you which you will find quite valuable in an actual practical conversational point of view. Because I'm a bit lucky to a degree. For a large portion of my working life, I worked in law enforcement. I was a professional investigator, a detective, and part of my job was speaking to people, or as we called it, interviewing people. And there are some very good techniques which I have built over the years which will help you to draw information out of people and make conversations quite easy. The first thing I want to say is you have to remember that people love to talk about themselves. So when you're entering into a conversation, maybe you're in a mixer or a networking event, and you find yourself talking to somebody that you've never met before. The best way to get them talking, and remember, if you can get them talking, it's the beginning of a conversation. You don't know where that conversation is going. It might be friendship, it might be just a little chat, but it's worth engaging in. If you can get that person talking about themselves, you are halfway to a successful conversation. So steer the conversation you're about to have towards them and ask them open questions about themselves. Now, an open question, just a reminder, is a question that cannot be answered by a yes or no. So instead of saying, isn't the weather wonderful today? Which of course your response is either yes or no. I would phrase it as, wow, what do you think of the weather today? Now, the only response to that is a sentence. And a sentence is an integral part of a conversation. So we've already cajoled that person into beginning a conversation with us. Open questions tend to start with tell me, who, what, why, when. It's a question which elicits a response from the person you're talking to. And the last thing I would say is, when you're in a conversation with somebody else, and if you don't particularly enjoy the whole small talk thing, a good way of lessening your workload in the small talk is, remember this equation: 2 ears, 1 mouth. If you're talking to somebody more than you're listening to them, there's something wrong. Think of the equation: you listen twice as much as you talk. Get the other person to do all the talking by asking the right open questions. And then your workload is half as much as theirs. Now, my next tip for you is, remember, you are not alone in this endeavor. Because I know exactly how you feel. I've moved home so many times. It can feel really unsettling to admit to yourself that your social life is not as you thought it was going to be. That you feel a little lonely, that you do feel a little isolated and perhaps lacking in that network of friends that you always hoped you'd have at whatever stage of life you are right now. A large proportion of the population are in exactly the same situation. When you look at surveys and research papers which are created around loneliness, isolation, you will find that an awful large proportion of the country feel the same way. But the difference is, as chaps, as people who are happy to make changes in our lives, we can make a difference in improving our situation. We're not just sitting back and feeling sorry for ourselves. We're going to make a difference. You shouldn't be embarrassed to say that you are a little lonely and you wish you had more friends. And now, once we've accepted that, we can then start to move forward and do the things that we've talked about, to integrate into groups, to have those conversations. You know, ring up the Freemasons and say, look, I'm thinking of joining primarily because I'd like to, meet more friends, get to know people in the area. There is nothing at all wrong in accepting that. In fact, it's a very healthy approach to take to the situation that we're talking about. Because just as you would have no embarrassment of going to a gym and saying, look, I want to get a bit fitter, can you sort me out? Or going to the doctor and saying, I've got this pain in my knee, can you help me? There's nothing wrong in admitting that you wish that your social health was a little bit stronger in your world. And once you admit it, then we are on the path to correcting the situation and being in a better socially healthy position. Now, my final tip for you is just to live in the moment. Let it happen. Because, my life experience tells me that, if you try to force a situation, it is a surefire way of making it fail. The best way to make new buddies is to just really apply the things that we've talked about. Put yourself in situations where you're likely to meet like-minded people undertaking the same activities. Try and be chatty, try and be friendly, open and approachable. It's not a bad thing to have a few jokes up your sleeve. A little bit of humour is always a good way to sort of add a bit of intimacy into any conversation. It's a great way to start a conversation flowing if you can share a laugh. Don't be too serious about it. Live in the moment and see what life throws your way, but be open and approachable to making new friends if it happens. And finally, as a bit of a caveat to that, don't worry about it. All right, this is perfectly normal part of anybody's evolution through life. Whatever stage of life you are, if you move home, if you move job, if you end a relationship, if you begin a relationship, the attrition of life will see friends falling away, but also you have the opportunity to make new ones. And that's what my 5 tips today were all about. Just adding a few sort of tips and advice and some tools for you to go forwards and fill your future social health with good friends. So, if you've enjoyed it, give the video a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, click the subscribe button. If you'd like to ask me a question, you can send me an email. Email address is on the screen now, or just drop it into the comment section below. You can support the channel by buying me a coffee or even becoming a patron. And I produce additional video content for my patrons almost every week. And we have a different conversation over on the patrons channel to here on the main channel, a bit more intimate. And if you'd like to find out how to get involved with that, the links are in the show notes below. So, until the next time, take care. Find those friends, they're out there for us all. And I will see you again very soon.